I don't even have my microphone on. Wow. I'm sitting here talking to the camera like I'm a madman. Okay, cool. Did this video pause or something? Oh, I guess it did. Okay. There we go. Jeez. Well, I'm glad no one was here for the first 4 minutes. Anyone watching the replay of this is going to be confused. But yeah, 4-minute mark. Maybe I'll put that on in the comments. I'll have to do it after the video's uploaded. Sneezed. Okay. There we go. So how y'all doing today? Let me... Chat settings. What chat settings do I have here? Compact mode? What's this? Let's see. Okay, that works. Yeah. Why not? Hello, Ark. Y'all ready? Just about ready anyway? We know what's gonna happen here. Ah. Let's see. Oh, I gotta check my email real quick to see if Monkey ever sent me a thing. Your request has been received and is being reviewed by our support staff. Really? Still? Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. I figured that this would be a question that they could, like, get back to and answer within, like, I don't know, an hour. All I asked them was, all I asked them was to, how would I flip my camera? Because you guys can read this, they can't. It's flipped for them on Monkey here. And I'm using a different camera. Now, if I use this camera, I have two cameras, like, side by side right here. No matter which camera I use, it's flipped for them. So it's not like I'm using the wrong camera or anything like that. It's just the way the site's oriented for some reason. And I don't know how to flip it. I've been looking up videos. I've been looking up everything. Now, the only thing that I've seen people be able to fix it on is if they have it on their phone. But I'm using my computer. And I didn't think it would be so difficult to get a camera control over this garbage Logitech. I might have to order another Logitech Brio. I don't know that I can control it through that. Maybe I can. What the heck? Ticket has been marked as solved. What was that? Oh, that was 2024. Never mind. That was a different thing. For a different company. Oh. It was just shipping issues or something. There we go. Man, when I push this hat down, it pushes hair right down into my eyes. Let's see here. That's what I wanted to go back to. Alrighty. Pink waving. That's all it says on this thing. I gotta look at it on. There we go. There's the big hand, pink hand. Waving. Almost looked like he typed it out. Alright, let me put this on. And, I guess I gotta oh. Wow, this stream's so far behind. Here on YouTube. No, go here. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Wish me luck, guys. Let's get something good.
Why you keep hanging up?
That's a kid. How's it going?
Hi.
How you doing? Hello. How's it going? Hi, how's it going?
Make America great.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
What are you up to?
Trump is bad, bro.
Oh, why is he bad?
Hey, bro. He making. I don't know, bro.
Ah,
Why we gotta pay taxes?
well, that's Trump's point. Why do we got to pay taxes?
No reason. I don't know, bro. We shouldn't be able to pay taxes.
Well, he's going to get rid of tax on tips, tax on overtime. You know, that's
What
those are
else?
pretty good things.
Why
What do you mean?
think-
What else?
Why do you think Trump is the best?
Well, I didn't say the best, but he's definitely better than Kamala by a long shot.
Why do you say that?
Because the only thing Kamala's ever done was arrest 9,000 black guys and make them slaves to California without even giving them a trial. That's kind of messed up. You should look into that case. How's it going?
Oh, girls.
Hello. How you doing?
Make America great again. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Hell no.
No, Bertracha.
Oh, you don't want it to be good?
It's
I
not.
want it to be good, but like, you know what it means. bro.
Yo.
Come on.
Yeah, it means make it better. You know, bringing our factories back from China, giving it back to our workers. I mean, I don't know why that's a bad thing. I think he rage quit his own phone. Oh my god. Hello.
What up, bro?
Oh, not a whole lot. What are you up to?
Playing COD.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, I see. He's a kid. I thought it was a chick. Hello. How's it going?
It's going great.
Oh my
Make
God, let me
America
hear
great
it.
again.
Oh, hell yeah. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Trump supported to the max.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you Trump?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, period.
He's saying absolutely to everything you ask him.
No, I think he's a good president. I think he's been doing good.
So who's your Oh, so you just told me you voted for Trump, right?
Oh, yes,
Fellow supporter, man.
absolutely.
I also
Well, I'm
feel
glad
like
to
he's
hear
doing
it.
great for this country, man. America wasn't great without
He
it.
needs to deport all them immigrants.
Well,
No,
just the
literally.
illegal ones.
Exactly. Not paying their taxes.
Yeah,
Making other people pay them. It's
He needs
crazy.
to go get this.
it is kind of nuts. It's unfortunate. I don't understand it. We didn't used to do that, but it's just weird. And I mean, they a bunch of illegal immigrants actually shut down our mall over in Tulsa.
That's insane, actually.
Yeah, they were hiring a bunch of illegals over at the Eastland Mall. Oh well.
Naked.
How's it going?
No. Somebody just told me to get naked.
Oh, yeah. Let's not do
And
that.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm only a month along. I'm only a month along. Though.
Only a month along. Gotcha.
Baby daddy left though.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we're still a little young. He was 19 and I'm 20.
I understand that. Well, definitely get that child support.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, y'all have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. That was weird. How's it going?
Good, bro.
How you doing?
Good.
What? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Nice painting you got back there.
Yeah.
It's,
That's my favorite anime.
Is that a moon on it?
It's the title.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Make
Absolutely.
America Great Again.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Hi, how's it going? Hi, how's it going?
Who's this?
How y'all doing?
Wearing this hat.
Wow. How's it going?
I'm going pretty good, man. How about you?
It's going pretty good. It's been a good day so far.
That's good. I like the hat.
Ah, thank you, man. Hell yeah. How's it going?
I don't know what the fuck happened to my camera. It's all black.
Oh, I can see it just fine.
You can see me?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Is that the
screen's
Finnish
black.
flag you got behind you?
No, bro. It's a Greek flag.
Oh, Greek flag. It's really hard
Oh.
to see it with the light glaring on it. It's really bright on the...
How would you make America great again?
Oh, by bringing our factories back, you know, getting rid of taxes on tips, taxes on overtime, you know, things like that.
Would you get rid of immigrants?
The illegal immigrants, we got to send those guys back.
That's what's up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what's up. Get
Hell
them
yeah.
all out. Get them the hell out. And
Absolutely.
People that cross the borders can walk back from where they're at to the
Hell
border
yeah, man.
and cross that shit back.
Greece has a real bad immigrant problem right now, don't they?
But yeah, all my days, I do not like them.
And I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate, you know. I mean, it just sucks that we just let everyone in for a good amount of time.
Bro, like, I have an older sister that's like 20 years older than me, or like, no, she's 15 years older than me. And she would tell me, like, when she used to go when she was a teenager, there would be no black people, no Arabs, no nothing. But now, it's all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not that I mind, like, black people or Arabs or anything like that. It's just the ones that
Listen,
come in illegally.
I love them up until they're illegal. If they're illegal, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%, man.
Bro, also, it's 1 a.m. where I'm at, so I think I'm gonna head to bed.
Hey, well, you have you a good night.
God bless.
Thank you. Nice guy.
I'm gonna make it through. I'm trying.
Nice drywall.
I'm trying to do yoga because I know that.
How's it going?
What's good, bro?
Oh, not
Yo,
a
are
whole
you
lot.
YouTuber?
No.
Hold on, streamer?
Kids. How's it going?
Make America great again.
Hell
They're
yeah.
gonna have to kick you out.
Who's gonna have to?
They're gonna have to kick you out to make it great again.
That would be impossible.
Why?
Well, first of all, I'm a Native American. I don't think we're the problem.
You look retarded.
Oh, that's not very nice. You got a hood on whenever you're in a house. Is it cold?
Is it cold? Stop trying to be smart, bro.
I don't have to try. I know you do.
I'm
but...
actually Native American. They can't kick me out. Good try there, buddy.
Okay. What, was I wrong? Oh, you just didn't like that I was right. Gotcha. I mean, at least I'm not dumb enough to try and hang on a, you know, toy basketball goal.
That's not mine.
Was it the neighbor kids? That's not very nice either.
Bro, you got jokes. We get it.
I don't think you've gotten a single one.
What do you call a Native American that lives in America and has a hat on?
A person?
No. Trash.
Oh. Oh, so we're not people. Gotcha.
Yep.
I've gotten that from white guys before.
Vegetables.
No. You know, it's all good.
Hell. Are you
So,
in a homeless shelter?
Am I in a homeless shelter? No. Are you in an abusive home or something? Do you need me to, like, call someone for you? How's it going? What the fuck? That was the weirdest looking guy I think I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. How's it going? Hello.
Ow!
Did you hurt yourself?
I fucking hurted!
Oh,
Fuck ass hair, I'm gonna fucking...
I understand that.
Oh.
Well, what are you up to tonight? Sounds like fun.
Well, my hair hurts. Well,
Yeah,
make
that can
America
happen.
great again. Vote for Trump.
Hell yeah.
Wait, who do you vote for?
Oh, Trump.
Trump?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's doing good, I think.
Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. Period. I'm done getting ready.
Alrighty. Well, you have yourself a good night.
You too.
Okay, she was retarded. Hello. How's it going?
How are you doing?
Doing good. You?
Same.
Oh, that's good. Absolutely.
Wait.
Hmm?
You know what is this?
Yeah, that's a baton.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You know what is this?
That is a mag.
You know what is this?
That would be, well, I can't really say it out loud, but yeah, that's the other part of it.
You are very smart.
I already got a blocker up for it. He knew. How's it going?
That's how I feel about you, bro.
Oh. No, that's not very nice, man. I don't feel that way about you.
Nah, I'm playing, bro. Go Trump.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Looks like you're having a good time.
You already know, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, shoot. You have you a good night. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah.
I think your camera's a little split there.
Oh no, it's another person right there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that before. This would be my first time.
Oh.
They did not get my joke. You get skipped for that. Hello. Are you driving right now?
Nah, I'm not driving.
It would be a hell of a lot more funny if you were. What a jerk. How's it going? Hello.
Hey,
How's it going?
he's a poodle in the jungle.
Who's a poodle in the jungle?
You.
Oh. No, I'm in the woods, but not the jungle.
You a poodle in the jungle.
Alrighty. Nonsense. How's it going? Okay. Those are some weird kids, being weird. How's it going? Oh, that was very strange. I don't know what the hell I just saw. Hello.
Hello, man.
How's it going?
Going good.
Oh, good. Absolutely.
Could I ask you something?
Yeah, sure thing.
What's your state on the political and economic state of the world right now?
Oh, the whole world? Ooh,
Yeah,
well.
I guess.
The, shoot, that's a tough one to tackle. Right now I think we're, getting China pretty well pressured, especially with the riots that are going on there now. So I think we're doing some pretty good there, honestly. Bringing back our factories. People are having a much harder time in China finding jobs now, so they're actually pressuring their government heavily. Now their government's going to be a little destabilized, so they're not going to be able to take over Taiwan. You know, just good things like that in general that keep China on the back foot. So that way they don't crush people.
China will compensate with trading with Europe instead of USA?
No, not really. They won't be able to. So we have this magical stuff called oil. And we could shut down Europe's entire supply if they decided to go ahead and trade with China instead of us. And China, unfortunately, they don't produce oil. They produce other goods like, you know, lithium or steel and stuff like that, but not really enough to truly power something like construction equipment and whatnot. So it'd be a bad move on Europe's part. I don't think they'd survive it. Unless they want to continue buying their oil from Russia as they are now as well.
Fuck America.
How's it going?
What up, brother? Oh, feather long one. Fellow long one.
Hell yeah, man. How you doing?
Up a second, I gotta get more of this in. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Just on here, seeing what people are up to.
I appreciate you for doing that because there's a lot of assholes on here, and sitting down and having decent conversations with people is always lovely.
In all fairness, I haven't seen one asshole, but I've seen a lot of dicks.
That is fair. Yeah, no. Yeah, just there's sketchy. Not sketchy, but just unnecessarily rude, lacking of mannered people.
Oh, no, I mean physical penises. There's been a lot of physical penises on the app, and it's been...
Yeah, that bothers, honestly, sadly, that bothers me less than the assholes, like the actual just shit-ass people.
Oh, hey. No, that's fair. I
understand
that.
It's another dude's dick. I just grew up playing athletics where everyone showered anyway. It's like...
Yeah, I think it's just the context. It's an old dude, and he's gripping it, and then it's like, you know I'm a guy, right? And he's like... And I'm just like, oh, fuck.
When I was younger and first got my PC, I did it where I had my hair out, and it was like the back of me. So I didn't have as broad of shoulders. I didn't have the beard at the time and anything.
Right.
So I would just show like a little bit of this and then the long hair, and then people and guys would stop and like start chatting, like trying to get sexual with me, and I'd turn and be like, what the fuck you mean, brother?
I've been to many concerts where I had a dude grinding on the back of me, thinking I was a chick.
Right. Oh God.
And especially when I was young. And, yeah, right. I was young. I had no muscle to me whatsoever. I was just a thin little rail. And they'd just be like, you know, coming right up onto me. I'd have my friends shoving them back and stuff. That was actually at a Children of Bodom concert. Good times. Good times.
I've only had it happen like 2 times where I've been actually mistaken as a female. I was working at Lowe's, and I was moving the tractor lawnmowers outside.
Oh, okay.
I was moving them, put them in place, locking them up in front of the store, and a lady walks up behind me as I'm lifting the front of one, the entire front, including engine, and placing it a foot over.
Mm-hmm.
And she taps on my back, goes, "That's what they got you out here doing that for. They got young men working here." And I turn around and I go, "I know, ma'am." And then she's just silent and scurries her ass inside and then avoids me in the store.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that reminds me of the first time my wife and I went on a date. And just the waitress was like, "I'll have a table for 2 young ladies." And I went ahead and sat down. And she's like, "What can I get for you, ma'am?" And I was like, "I'll start off with a Franciscaner." And she's just like, "You're not a man, are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm a man." And she goes, "I am so sorry." My first beer was free, though, so it was great.
That's great. I went to class for, I'm in union.
Oh,
so
nice.
I went to schooling for it. And at the school, there was one guy that multiple times for multiple weeks had come up to me specifically to tell me that he thought I was a woman from behind multiple times.
Oh, man.
I really wanted to punch him in his jaw like the 3rd time he's told me.
What kind of a union are you in, if I may ask?
I'm a pipe fitter.
Oh, okay, excellent. Nice.
Yeah. Local
Man, that's
597 Chicago.
Nice. Man, how's it in Chicago right now?
I don't live enough downtown. I live on the south side. I'm in the south suburbs. Not like the dead ass like ghetto south side.
Right.
Just
Gotcha.
South suburbs.
What's that place called? The Ravina? Up in North Chicago? It's that big park area where they Billy Corgan plays a lot of shows up there.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of amphitheaters and a lot of different shows. You got Capital One, which is the football field.
Yeah.
You got Guaranteed Rate, which is a baseball field. You got multiple places up in Rosemont.
It's like it's a huge open, like, just big grassy yard. They got a
It
stage
could
like
be
right in the middle.
Arlington. Arlington's got a lot.
Okay, maybe I thought it was called like the Ravina or something like that.
I just don't know what the Ravina is, if it is.
Have you heard of or been to Madame Zuzu's?
No.
Oh, okay. It you know who Billy Corgan is though, right?
I'm not good with names. If I heard something, I'd probably know it. But
Gotcha. He's the guitarist and vocalist for Smashing Pumpkins. If you've ever heard them.
I don't even know about them, sorry.
Oh, I know you'll know the song Bullet with Bullet with Butterfly Wings?
Hey Google, play Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Is that what it is?
Got it. Bullet with Butterfly Wings by the Smashing Pumpkins. Playing on Spotify.
Yeah, that's them. Let's see. Ever hear that song on the radio? I think it would have been released in 95? 97? Was that when Melancholy was out? When did this come out? Remaster came out in 2012, but let's see. Release date. 95, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I figured. Especially this chorus and all. This is just like the main thing. Yeah. Yeah, he plays there all the time. The Ravina is pretty much his backyard. So he like literally just walks back there and then he just plays shows for people all the time and stuff. It's pretty neat. Sometimes he sells shows there, sometimes he plays for free. He owns the Madame Zuzu's. That's a shop somewhere in Chicago. It's like a tea house. Yeah, no, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you at all.
A lot of expensive shit everywhere.
Right. Man, definitely understand that. But, alrighty, man. Yeah, it was cool talking to you. Hey, you too, man. Thank you. Hell yeah, man. You too, man. Thank you. Well, that was interesting. Beating off, huh? How's it going? Money,
great.
nice. Hell yeah.
Going great.
Hell yeah, man. Where'd you get that from?
Tubular. I made my pockets great again.
Hell yeah, nice. That's a good thing to do. That's what we're doing for the country.
No, that's what we're doing for my pocket.
Yeah. Everyone's pocket. How's it going?
How's it going?
Going pretty good.
That's all.
I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't know.
Nice wall. I can't. He froze.
Said I love you.
How's it going?
What is up?
Oh, not a whole lot. What are you up to?
I don't know. Just in the mood for a conversation.
Hell yeah, man.
What about you, Bucko?
No, same here, you know?
Yeah, I noticed you're at. You a fan of Trump, I assume?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What are y'all up to? Okay. So, how's it going? Okay. How's it going? Oh. How's it going? Hello. How's it going? How's it going, man? Okay. How's it going?
Yo.
How you doing?
What did you vote for?
Oh, Trump.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's a shock.
Yeah, I couldn't have guessed.
Hell
Why
yeah,
Trump,
man.
though?
You know, bringing our factories back. You know, getting rid of taxes on tips and taxes on overtime. Just generally
What do you
good
think
things.
about the tariffs?
Oh, I think the tariffs are great. It's sending
You
China
do?
into a literal riot.
Are they though?
Oh, yeah. People are, this is going to be almost another Tiananmen Square. I mean, at this
Yeah,
rate.
I think they're just fine. You know, you import more from them than they import from you.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Do you know why that is?
Well, yeah, because their labor
Who owns
there
the
is cheaper,
factories?
so it's cheaper to make products there. That's why
Mhm.
major companies operate in China.
Why? Who gave them that permission to do so?
It's not about permission. It's a free world. They can do that. It's
No.
because they have. No, it's because their population is dense, and so they can afford labor cheaper.
I could tell you're quite a bit younger and don't know what Bill Clinton did with the TPP and the other.
I mean, I don't. My knowledge
arrangements that he
doesn't
did.
go that far back. You know, other
Right.
countries exist. I'm not that concerned about the U.S. But
Well, I
it's
understand that.
part of it though is that labor is cheaper there, so the companies would rather say you could
Why
hire
is it
somebody
cheaper?
to do. Well, like I said, the population is dense. More people are looking for work, so work can be
That's not why.
cheaper. It's part of it.
No.
Why is it? You tell me.
Child slave labor is very much in demand. Has been in demand for decades now. That's why it's cheaper. They have Uyghur Muslim
Yeah, I mean, I've
concentration
heard about
camps.
that, but I don't. I think it's more of a stereotype than it is actually children.
No.
Actual young children. Like you think a child can assemble an iPhone? Because
Yes.
that's what you import from China the most. I don't think so.
Yes, it's very easy. It is not a complicated thing. So they have a bunch of proprietary systems. Adults work on some things, children work on others. They make a very much slave wage between adults making about 20 cents an hour to children who work absolutely for free. There are people who recycle where they're melting by hand motherboards over fire. They look like they're 70 years old because they're breathing in everything without any type of protections. We should not be funding that. That's not okay. When
Just
our
to
factories...
circle back a second, sorry to cut you off. When you say
Oh, yeah.
children work for free,
yes,
what does that mean though? I doubt that they work for free. I think it's child slave labor in the sense that they, you know, maybe parents employ their children against their will, but I don't think they would work for free.
No, they work for free. It is a sweatshop.
Right, but they, like, for what reason do the children work?
To make product. For
Right,
China.
but I mean, what's forcing them? If they're not making money and their parents aren't making money, who's forcing the children into labor?
The CCP. The Chinese Communist Party is what does it. These are children of Uyghur
That sounds like
Muslims.
an extreme conspiracy theory.
That's not a conspiracy theory. You don't think the Uyghur Muslim camp exists? Look it up. It's
No, I know
absolutely there.
No, listen, I'm not like pro-China. Like,
What kids
I'm
do you
not on
think are
anybody's side.
working? It's not Chinese kids. It's Uyghur Muslims that are working. It's these kids. It's kids of
there
some
aren't that
families.
many of them. Dude. I don't know about that.
I don't care if there's that many of them. There shouldn't be one.
Sure, I'm familiar with the Uyghur situation, but I don't think they're making, like, all Uyghur children make all the products that are imported from China.
I mean, they physically can't get every single product, but they're definitely doing a lot of the work. They're definitely working to death. There's no doubt about that. They're literally digging out mines by hand to fish cobalt out. I mean, that's insane. You know, and the thing about it is,
like, if I asked you for a source, would you be able to cite one?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I could pull up a number of sources. I could pull up documentaries and videos and a lot
I'm
of
not being
things.
confrontational. I'm actually intrigued about this.
No. Yeah, I can. Let's see here. They were.
Because to me, it sounds like a conspiracy. I've never heard that before.
Well, that's because they stopped teaching it. So back whenever I was in school, back in like 2004, 2001, 2004, and all those years, I was in junior high, I believe. I'm 32. We used to watch these documentaries in class about where our recyclables would go. Our science teachers and everything, they would show like, hey, when Bill Clinton signed that deal for that free trade agreement that was just bogus, that sent all of our factories from the United States into China, they promised us that, first of all, they were like, hey, you know that $1,000 TV you're eyeing? Well, when it's made over in China, it's going to come back even cheaper because it's only going to cost $10 to make a TV, and that TV will be $300. That never happened. They were $10 to make, but then the corporation still charged $1,000 to us. So we didn't save any money. They pocketed all of that money. We want our factories back here in the United States,
But would
And
that
they
be
can
China's
eat that
fault, or
money.
would it be the company's fault? Like if it's
No, it's
cheaper
Bill
for
Clinton's
Apple
fault.
to manufacture an iPhone in China than it is in the USA, but they charge the same price for it, is that the fault of the Chinese government or of the companies that choose to work in China because it's cheaper for them?
It's the fault of two governments. It's not the fault of the company, because the company was said that they could go and work there, that they could go and put their factories there. Our government allowed that, though. We shouldn't be trading with people, period, that
No, but
use
that's what I'm
Chinese child
saying.
slave labor.
Right, so the companies move to China to make their product cheaper, but if they still sell it for the same price, they don't actually make it cheaper to the consumer.
Right.
Is that not a problem?
Well, yeah, that is a problem. Our government should have
Would it
regulated
not be
that.
that company's fault then?
Well, no, because the government never said that they had to fulfill that promise. The government was the one who
if the
enticed.
promise was made, I would be under the impression that I would be under the expectation that that promise would be fulfilled.
Well, they didn't keep that promise, so what do we do?
So
now
it's
they
on
get to
them
use.
then. That's what I'm saying.
How can it be on them though? Who's going to stop them?
Well, yeah, maybe nobody can stop them, but it's still on them that they promised to make the product cheaper, but they didn't.
No. Our government allowed it to happen. They said, hey, you may go do this. Why would we let that happen? Why would our government give permission to do that? They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
What do you think about like Chinese companies, like car companies, for example, that make cars cheaper and they can sell them to the US and Europe cheaper, but they are not allowed to?
Yeah, I don't think they should be allowed to.
Well, why not? If you can get cheaper, isn't that what you want though? You want cheaper products.
Why do you think they can't do it?
I've heard about it. I forgot the term for it.
Well, this
is fair trade or something.
So no, it's called a tariff. It would be too expensive for them to sell them.
Other than the term, like I forgot the term. Why? It's about cars specifically. The reason they're not allowed to sell cars it's because the Chinese government itself invests in car companies, so that they have more funds and they can develop cars better. While in the US it's private companies and the US government itself is not indulged in the making of cars or anything.
So their government owns everything, and that's what's kind of terrible about that country as well. Their government literally owns every single thing that, there's no capital. So when we're trading with a horrible country like that, we need to stop. There's no reason for us to be investing in making a dictator, like a country ran by a dictator, rich. On top of that, we are supporting, slave labor. That's just not okay. And we need to have our companies make everything back here in America, employ Americans, and keep their stuff at the same price that they did to us. They're going to have to eat that profit. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. But as for the PBS, I believe it was China Undercover, wasn't it? No, that was not it.
Okay, it all sounds nice on paper, but do you think it's actually realistic?
Well, yes, it's realistic. That's what we've done. We did that all the way up till 1995.
Really depend on the US for anything. It's a small margin of its GDP, and the companies have no real reason to move back to the US. I think Apple already refused.
No, they didn't. No, Apple invested $500 billion to build a facility right here in the United States.
When was this?
This was literally in January.
Very fast.
Apple was the very first company to sign on. They were the very first one.
But wasn't that before Trump even spoke or, did the tariffs?
It was before Trump did the tariffs. Right before they did the tariffs, because they knew the tariffs were coming. So Apple went ahead and made the first thing. Then Facebook went and they donated another $500 billion. Or not donated. They are investing $500 billion into more facilities into the United States as well.
But
they were the second company.
Isn't Apple worth like $1 trillion?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, but
I have no
that's
idea
what I'm saying.
worth.
Like, I think it's unrealistic that they invested half their net worth, the whole company's net worth, in facilities.
That's not how that works. $500 billion into workers and factories. That's the overall budget. You see what I'm saying? They got to pay the workers that are working in the factories.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have that kind of cash. Because the whole company's net worth, if the company was to be sold, it'd be sold as in the stocks of the company. Collectively is $1 trillion.
No, they don't have to sell stocks. They don't need liquid either. They take out. No. That's not how that works.
They take out loans. You're gonna say
yes. They borrow against their own liquidity.
Who has $500 billion to give them?
multiple different banks that want a piece of Apple.
All right, but then that not similar to China owning the Chinese companies? Is that not similar?
No. No,
or
that's not even
investing,
close.
helping invest in Chinese companies.
No,
well, I mean, I would say if banks in the USA are willing to give $500 billion to Apple alone to make its or move its facilities to the USA,
they're not. So this is how it works. When they give a loan, they get to make a massive amount of interest on that loan that gets paid back over time. That's why these companies work together the way they do. They always borrow against their own equity. That's how billionaires even work. Billionaires don't have cash. They borrow against their own equity. Otherwise, they would have nothing, really. All their equity is in these businesses and buildings and everything, and that's why they don't get taxed. Because you can't tax, really, a certain amount of... Well, I can't say it exactly like that. It's more like property tax and stuff that they have to deal with. It's cheaper. That's why they do it that way. If they had a whole bunch of cash on them and stuff, they'd have to prepare an income tax at a certain amount. That would absolutely tax them to like 40 or 50%, and that's how they get around it. So they put it all into physical assets. They get taxed less for it. So all they do at that point is they take out loans, and then they can take that loan and say, hey, this is actually a business loan technically, and then they can write off taxes on that as well. There's just a whole bunch of complexity when it comes to billionaires and stuff. There's no possible real way to tax them.
Isn't that also a shitty system in the USA?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a garbage system, which is why,
But the problem is that politicians and presidents on both the Democratic and Republican Party really benefits from that system, from that,
Well, I mean,
and
here's
nobody
the
has
deal,
made
though.
promises to change it, and they can't change it.
If we were to somehow change that system, how do you think that would look?
Surely there's another country that can set an example. I mean, look at the
Unfortunately
United
not.
Arab Emirates. They I'm pretty sure rely mainly on their tourism and oil, and they don't have any income tax. They don't charge any income tax to their citizens.
They also have a very, very, very small population, and they have an incredibly wealthy population. So they get an incredibly wealthy population that's smaller, and they don't do an income tax. They don't really have to.
Sure, but even if the population is wealthy, if they're not giving to the government, then how does the government have money?
Well, they have taxes in other ways.
What are the other ways? That's
more than likely through assets.
Why can't the USA, go through the other ways as well?
Well, because we have a bigger population, we wouldn't be able to satisfy the needs of the people. Public transport, massive amounts of infrastructure throughout the entire United States versus a country that's just a blip on the map compared to them. They don't have to build highways that span across 1,800 miles.
How does it work in Russia? What's their system?
I'm not entirely sure how their system works, but you can see for itself that Russia's not doing as well as the United States on infrastructure or any aspect.
GDP-wise, maybe not, but it is a beautiful country, and it's very dense.
Beautiful country, yeah.
And it's very large. And
It's
maybe
one
they're
of
not
the
the
least dense
richest country in the world,
countries.
but whatever they're doing is working for them.
It's actually one of the least dense countries in the entire world. Now, that's a lot to do with its size. It is the biggest country in the world, but it is nowhere near as populated as the United States. They have a very small population in comparison, and they have a vast amount of land, and that's generally why they...
What's the population of Russia?
I think it's let's see. What was it? 143 million. So literally half the United States population.
It's half the US. Less than half even.
But that's why so many towns are so poor. They don't, unless you're near the main capital, the further out you go, the less money they have. The roadways are very difficult to build on that snowy terrain. They have it pretty rough out there. I wouldn't think they're a good example anyway. I wouldn't want a dictator.
Couldn't you say the same about some areas in the USA?
No, not really.
Surely you have poor towns. I mean, you got a big homelessness issue.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, we do have a big homelessness issue. We do have, but I mean, not so much of it being so vast and spread apart. Native American reservations and stuff, some of them are pretty bad. All that stuff. But As for a vast amount of our population, a vast majority of our population is doing really, really well. I mean, a good example, you could be homeless on the streets, you still won't starve to death here. In Russia, you will. So, I mean, that's a big difference.
Why would you in Russia, but not in the USA? I mean, if you're homeless in any country, you're kind of relying on people giving you money. I feel like people in Russia would give money.
So, people might give money, but our government gives all the money. If you become homeless today, you're not going to be living on the streets as long as you got a brain between your shoulders. You know what I mean? Because you can always get in Section 8 housing. You can get free money. You can get welfare. All of those things are available.
Do you need any privileges to apply to any of these services? There's definitely a lot of homeless people on the streets in the USA.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but either they want to be homeless, or they're severely on drugs, or they're mentally ill. That's the vast majority of homeless people. So, I mean, it's one of those things to where the ones you see on the streets, you know, think about how many more people are on Section 8 housing and how many more people are on welfare than there are homeless people. It's a lot more. So, I mean, those would all be people that were homeless if they didn't have those programs. Or at least, you know, didn't want to work.
I mean, circling back to the tax system, are you familiar with zakat?
I don't believe I am.
It's the Muslim tax system, and I think it's perfect. I think any society that correctly implements zakat would thrive. It's basically a 2.5% tax on everybody. There's no zakat write-offs. Everybody gets taxed.
Nice.
Which, while it is a lower percentage than 40 or 50 in the USA, like I said, nobody's exempt from it. So billionaires would be forced to pay that tax as well, and it would equal out the large percentage in the USA. What do you think about that? Do you think something like that could be applicable in the USA?
That depends. How many hands does it cost?
How many hands?
Yeah.
Like if people don't pay and they lose their hand?
Yeah.
Well, how about everybody pays and nobody loses their hand?
Well, that would be ideal. But, somebody's not going to pay.
Do you think a billionaire that has a lot of money and can do a lot for his country, and 2.5% is not going to, make him homeless, do you think if he doesn't pay it, he deserves to keep his hand?
Well, here's kind of an example of that. So we could force billionaires to pay, right? What are they going to do, though? They're going to go to a different country. And that's kind of what happens to billionaires and millionaires. So what they do for the country, though, is they build businesses. They bring in money. They bring in investment to the United States by an insane amount.
Jobs. Yeah.
Creating jobs, is quite the trade-off because they have to be responsible for the workers. They have to pay the workmen's comps. They have to get the insurance for everyone else. They have to pay quite a bit actually out of pocket in order to keep the workers at a good pace. But when our government slips up and allows corporations to not have to pay it anymore, almost even Walmart had a pension at one point. No business no longer has a pension anymore because the government doesn't enforce that kind of stuff or encourage that kind of stuff. We get rid of our factories, we have China make everything, and our workers suffer greatly. And what are they suffering for? So another child can suffer, over backbreaking labor. That's just not worth it. There's just no way it's worth it. So, that's one of those things to where why we have to get rid of trading with China completely. They never deserved our trade. After the Tiananmen Square incident, we had banned any type of trade with China from 1989 all the way up to 1995. Well, I don't know if it was actually that exact stretch of years, but
listen, there's another argument I want to have here. Is let's say, as we established, China's for sure better for companies because companies can make their products cheaper, and I don't think any big billionaires are very ethical people that care about child labor and shit like that. They just care about their saving money.
Oh yeah.
So sure, if Trump throws this ultimatum, you either come back to the US or there's going to be tariffs on your products and you're going to have to sell them very expensive here and then nobody's going to buy it. Wouldn't he want the European Union in on this as well? Why apply tariffs on them? He basically left himself no friends in this whole tariff war.
There's no tariffs on Europe right now.
There is.
No, there's not. It's a 90-day freeze to negotiate.
Okay, so what about after the 90-day freeze?
Well, by then they'll reach an agreement for sure.
Right, but why even threaten tariffs on the European Union.
Let me reverse the question. Why does the European Union get to tariff us and we don't get to tariff them back?
Do they tariff you? What is the tariff on the USA?
So they tariff all of our vehicles, every one of them. We don't tariff any of their BMWs or any of their Volkswagens or any of the cars that are made over there. Audi, all of that stuff. They get to come over here and sell them for a competitive price. While if we try to sell our cars over in their country, they tariff the crap out of us, raising our prices up so they don't compete with Volkswagen. We can make cars much cheaper than Volkswagen and BMW. Fords, I mean, when was the last time you saw a Ford that was genuinely more expensive than the same tier of automobile that BMW or Volkswagen or Audi was selling? Audis and Volkswagens and stuff are not as expensive in Europe as they are over here. So it just completely rips us off. So we want to be able to...
Is there a reason those tariffs were implemented by Europe?
Yeah, because they wanted their stuff to be sold in their country by their workers. They're doing the things that we're asking for. They're like, no, we want our factories in our country. We want people buying our stuff so our country thrives. And then the United States is like, well, hey, we want to do that too. And then everyone's like, you can't. You got to use China. That's not very fair. Why do we have to use China? Why can't they use China?
They have tariffs on China as well.
They have tariffs on certain things from China, depending on if it's from an American company or not. Some of their stuff, they do some trade with China. I don't know their exact model of what they do with China, but I mean, if Europe's going to tariff us, then they can expect us to put a tariff on. Now, get this. Every single tariff that we put on every country was half of the tariffs that they put on us. And everyone freaked out. We only gave them half of the dose of medicine that they're giving to us, and then everyone's mad about it. And it's like, okay, well, we could double it up, go even, or we could quadruple it and go double what your price is, you know? But the whole negotiation is everyone gets rid of their tariffs, we get rid of our tariffs. Then everyone can trade freely, and then we'll see who competes with who, you know? But they don't want to play on a level playing field. They want to sabotage it a bit in their favor so their citizens buy their stuff. Guarantee you, if Europe gets rid of their tariffs, everyone's going to be driving Fords over there. Not because they're better, but because they are half the price. And people like saving money.
I mean, but you don't allow China to do the same.
No, they've been tariffing us for a long, long time.
China got rid of the tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so did Trump. You think the EU and the USA would allow Chinese cars to be sold in both?
No. And there's a big reason for that. We need to stop doing business with China, period. I hope they wouldn't do that anyway. Until China stops being a communist country.
You can't just say we gotta stop doing business. Like, it's a large, very densely populated land, green land.
How do you think the United States economy was between 1950 and 1989?
You tell me.
Way better than what it is today. And the reason why is because we did not have our factories in China.
Is that the only reason, though? Does inflation not have anything to do with it?
Well, how does inflation happen?
I mean, the living standard is higher. You can't compare. Yeah. What year did you say it was?
1950 to 1989.
Yeah, but I mean, the living standard is better, though, no?
Why?
Now.
Well, what do you mean? What's different?
Well, I mean, there's things you have to get that you didn't have to get back in the day. Like a computer, education is more expensive. Internet, sure.
I mean, how much is a computer?
You know, off the top of my head.
I don't think that wouldn't even be a dent in people's salaries back then.
I mean, there's more. I'm just listing some things that came to mind, but you know, the living standard is high. Like, you got this phone right now. You got an internet connection. You're on Monkey and talking to people.
Yeah, but
you got a Make America Great Again hat on.
They didn't have that stuff in the 50s?
Not to this extent. I don't think so.
We weren't that far behind in the 50s. Yeah, I mean, we just didn't have cell phones. They still had radios. They had TVs. They had, you know, a lot of technology that cost the same. You know how much a TV was back then? TVs were way more expensive than they were today. Way more expensive. It was brand new technology. You know, think about when the computer first came out. Those things were way more expensive, like 10 grand.
Yeah, true, but not everybody had them. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know not many
everybody
people
had a computer.
Yeah, but they're all cheap now, too. That's why everyone has
It's
them.
cheaper, but people have like you. If you're a college student, you need a laptop. You need your college books. You need your whatever basic necessities that you maybe didn't in the 1950s. Like, do you not think you're living better now than your grandfather did in the 50s?
So I'm not necessarily saying better or worse, but we're not living like, a crazy different life from the 1950s. People still lived in the same type homes. People still lived, going to their grocery stores. They still had the corporations. They had vehicles. They had airplanes. They were going and boarding flights.
What was the population of the USA in the 1950s?
Probably 300 million. Let's see. That was probably closer to 200 million, I bet. Let's see. So April 1st, 1950, it was 150 million residents. So about half of the population.
Right, but that also plays a big part in it, no?
Well,
think about rent, for
what do you mean?
example. There's more people looking to rent houses, right? So prices are competitive. The prices go up. They don't go down when there's more demand.
Well, no, that would only happen if there wasn't any land that people were wanting to move to or anything. Or if everyone was trying to cram into, like, let's say, New York City, where there's no more growth possible. For New York City, maybe, but I wouldn't
It's
say
not just
that.
New York, though.
Well,
there's not
an
empty city or a state in the USA. Like every major state is relatively dense.
Well, yeah, sure. So every state's relatively dense, but we haven't ran out of land to build homes on. It's not like prices are going up because of increased population. Prices are going up because of inflation. Do you know what causes inflation?
Tell me.
So there's two things that can really cause it. First of all, if we get rid of a lot of our equity, all of a sudden, we don't have anything to back the dollar. So let's say we stop farming our own oil and we just start buying oil instead.
Well,
inflation
yeah,
happens.
Like isn't the U.S. dollar value, or it was meant to be backed up by gold? That was JFK's policy, and he got assassinated for it.
No, that wasn't JFK. So it was, I think it was Truman that got us off the gold standard. That was way before.
What is it backed up by now?
It was 1933. Franklin Roosevelt was the one who did it, and then Richard Nixon officially ended it in 1971, where we had. Is that when he seized the gold? No, that's not when he seized the gold. All
I know
transactions were.
is inflation happens
ended.
when the currency of said country loses its value, and that happens when it's not backed up by anything. So what's the American dollar backed up by now?
Well, that's the thing. It was backed up by oil. Oil's been going down. Now Trump's bringing that back, so our dollar value will go up. Bringing our factories back over from China to the United States brings equity back to the United States because now people have to buy that from us, so we take their money. Their money goes into our stockpile. You experience a bit of deflation. Now our dollar value is going up. Now that $15 an hour you were making that wasn't buying you enough is now going to make you a lot of money because goods are going down. What do you mean?
Like the pay would go down. You wouldn't still be making 50. Let's say
why would pay go down?
The US dollar doubled in its value.
Have you ever had a pay reduction at work before?
Personally, no, but
Nobody does.
we haven't had this extent of like, how do you say, of a currency gaining value. And
oh yeah, we did.
Just like
we had a major amount between 2017 to 2020. Trump brought a lot of our factories back. He brought the Ford factories back from Mexico. That's whenever he did the USMCA, the United States-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement. He brought our factories back over. He used a lot of that money to actually build his wall from Mexico that they had to pay to us from our tariffs and our imports. Canada also helped pay for all that too because of that. And that brought up our economy quite a bit. I work in quite a few factories, actually. I go around and I fix equipment. So I get employed by each factory that's doing well. When factories aren't doing so well, they start hiring much cheaper labor to fix their machines. And they start doing things that they really shouldn't be doing that's not very safe for their workers. When I start getting a lot of business and I'm making a lot of money, I know they're doing really well because Trump's bringing those factories and bringing back those goods, and people are buying from them again. Steel mills, all the way to charcoal. No pay reductions at all.
Let's say minimum wage labor. I understand if you're a surgeon or someone that's harder to replace, then your pay wouldn't go down. But if you're a minimum wage worker, like most people are in the USA, would you not get a reduction?
No.
Or even fired and replaced by someone willing to work cheaper?
I have never known a single story or anything of anybody receiving a pay reduction ever in the United States. That's just something that can't happen. Because the moment you start taking pay away from someone, they're just going to quit and go to another job.
And you can find someone who's willing to do it for cheaper.
Not many people are willing to do it for cheaper.
Migrants are willing to do it for cheaper.
Illegals are.
We got a lot of people who come over from Mexico and different countries, mainly Mexico, though.
Yeah, we can't let that happen.
They are not very far from what's going on in China, where people are desperate and they're willing to work for peanuts.
Well, see, that's why Trump is literally getting rid of those people. You know what I mean? They come to this country, they work prices under minimum wage.
But is it not a win-win, though? Look at Saudi Arabia. As much as I love Saudi Arabia, the country
slave labor's never a win-win, man.
Exclusively built on refugee work. They have a lot of Indians, Pakistanis, Indonesians.
Yeah, I'm not okay with
using
slave labor.
Because those people are willing to come to the USA to work for cheaper than the Saudi citizen.
No, that's evil, man.
Where they're
that's
still being paid more than they would in their country, so they win, and then the country gets to pay them less, so they win.
That's very, very evil. I wouldn't want to treat someone like a second-class citizen.
Why is that evil, though?
Because that's treating them like a second-class citizen. They can't make opportunity that I make. That's crazy.
But they're not citizens, though.
Yeah, I know they're not citizens, but we shouldn't be bringing in people. That's slavery. That's literally no different when we brought black people across the side and made them
work. If you'd rather work in Saudi Arabia for cheaper than a Saudi citizen, but you're making more money than you would in Indonesia.
There are black people who willingly got on those boats and came over here because they knew it would be a little bit better of a life than living out there in Africa. Not everybody thought that, but there were at least a few people who did, and they came over here and they worked for free as a slave. That's not okay. I don't want people doing that. Slavery's not okay. If we can't pay people the minimum wage, we shouldn't be paying anybody to be working that job. They should figure something out, but we cannot bring illegal people in here and make them work less than what we are. That's dehumanizing. We shouldn't be doing that.
Do you think there's that much of a job crisis in the USA that they can afford to deport all Mexicans?
There's not a job crisis.
Them by that's what I'm saying, though. There's not a job crisis. So if you do deport all the immigrants, do you think you would be able to find Americans willing to do the same jobs?
Yes, many of them are willing. The problem is an American's not willing to work the same wage that an illegal is. Illegal comes up and he goes, I'll do it for $1 an hour. And they're like, well, our job, it pays $15 an hour. But the illegal's like, I'll do it for $1 an hour. Who do you think that guy's going to hire? He's not going to hire the guy willing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But the guy willing is going to work it for $15 an hour. And that's what we should have it happen. They should be paying for the labor. I don't want these corporations being able to use slave labor. That's not right. We shouldn't allow that ever.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. That's why we need to get them out of here. They're exploited and we don't have a place for them. Unfortunately, we can't just make everybody citizens, especially the ones like, that came up to Oklahoma City and was trying to bomb the election. When people come through that you don't know who they are, you don't vet them, I mean, it's, we don't know what kind of people they are. Many people were killed by illegal immigrants. I myself have been heavily affected by an illegal immigrant. Back in 2014, I bought a 2011 Dodge Charger. I was driving down 41st and Sheridan in Tulsa in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. I had an illegal immigrant hit me head-on going 80 miles an hour. Took me out. He ended up serving 12 hours in jail before he was released. I could not find out who the guy was. There's an active lawsuit against him. Don't know where he went because he was illegal. Can't track him down. He caused $50,000 worth of damage. I had to pay $2,000 out of pocket for my deductibles on my insurance. And he just got away scot-free.
Didn't you say he got arrested?
Yeah, for 12 hours.
And it was let go?
Mm-hmm. He was an illegal immigrant. Can't hold him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another reason to arrest somebody, no?
Yeah, it is.
Illegal.
But this is during Obama's catch and release.
He wouldn't be let go.
No, he was let go. He was 100% let go. Yeah.
How would he be let go, though? If aside from, assaulting you, in a sense, he was also illegal.
He was illegal.
That's 2 reasons to arrest somebody.
Yeah, that is 2 reasons to arrest someone. He was arrested, and he was let go. He was drunk driving, too. That's another reason to hold him. But because he was an illegal immigrant. Nope.
Yeah, but there's got to be a reason. You can't just say because he, like, I'm sure the judge didn't let him go or whatever process he was at just because he was like
He didn't see a judge.
Sympathy.
Yeah, he wasn't seen by a judge. He was just released out of jail.
Out of sympathy.
Well, I don't know about out of sympathy. It's just, well, you're an illegal immigrant. I can't
Well,
try
that's what I'm saying. What is the reason, though?
That was it. It was an Obama policy.
But wouldn't the police department get in touch with ICE to review this guy?
No, not if it's an Obama policy. When the president says, do not arrest illegal immigrants, they don't arrest them.
Was that the Obama policy that you just can't arrest illegal immigrants?
Mm-hmm. Why do you think Trump was talking about building a wall? There had to be a reason for that.
He's competing with China because they got the Great Wall of China.
Well, I mean, that would be nice. But no, we're never going to get a nice wall like that. I don't think that would be possible with people voting against it. But sure, I would love a nice Great Wall at the border. But nah. That's why immigration was such a big deal in 2016. Was because of those catch and releases. They were going into our neighborhoods. Tulsa's bad. It's filled with so many illegal immigrants. And you can't even speak English downtown. Well, not downtown, over on 11th Street in Garnett. Little Mexico there in Tulsa.
But don't you think there's any benefits to immigration?
No. I mean, immigration, yes.
Not at all.
Illegal immigration, no. No benefits at all. It damages everybody that is not rich. Unless you are rich, that's the only reason why you should want illegal immigration. Because they're the only ones who benefit from it. And, so that's kind of the problem. When we're saying the left-wing party is, the party of the rich, this is why we're saying it. They're defending illegal immigration where only the rich people benefit. It hurts every worker. It hurts every kid that's trying to get their first job because a bunch of illegals are working the jobs and we can't get money. It's so much harder. So we have to go to college for 4 years or get a trade. But the problem is a lot of illegals now are getting apprenticed and then going into trades. So they won't even hire people who are fully qualified. So that's kind of the big issue. Now so many Americans are displaced, not able to work, and it's making them have to live off the government on welfare. So, that's kind of the big problems with it.
Sure.
We got to protect our working class, because if they don't get protected, the country falls apart.
What do you think about Israel?
I generally don't. I don't care about Israel or Palestine. They're not of my concern. It's not my country. They'll duke out their issues. I just don't want to be part of it. I don't want our government to be part of it.
I mean, it's a humanitarian issue, though. You're a human, no? Wouldn't
Sure.
you at least have an opinion on it?
Well, I mean, it's about the same opinion as China, right?
First of all, I appreciate that, even being neutral as a Republican is like a compliment because most blindly just support whatever.
Well, you too, man.
Like what? Yeah, thank you. Like, yeah, it's kind of disgusting the extent. I'm not a Democrat, but I don't give a shit. I'm a Syrian Muslim. I don't care about the parties in the USA.
No,
but I am repulsed by the Democrats. But also, when it comes to Republicans, the one thing that I don't respect is you get a president like Trump who is very pro-Israel for whatever behind-the-scenes political reasons, and you have his
I don't know a president that wasn't.
You have supporters who are not as informed as him, or are not on that level that just blindly follow him into that opinion of we should support Israel, we should send them billions, we should do this, we should do that, when the whole world is against it.
Yeah, I genuinely don't see why we're funding any country other than our own at this point. Israel's doing awful things. I think Hamas is doing terrible things as well. I mean, it's just both sides. I'm like, okay, they're both killing each other. They're both doing the things they're accusing each other of. I don't want anything to do with any of them. I want to focus on us. Let them duke out their battles. I just don't understand why we're even obsessed with the Middle East at all. It's like, that's not our country. That's not our area. It's none of our business. And the same with China. Like, China has their Uyghur Muslim camps and stuff, and it's like, cool. I'm not saying we go in there and bomb them or anything. I'm just saying we don't mess with China. We just don't trade with them. We should do the same with all the other countries that are doing bad things. We just don't talk to them, don't trade with them, and their economy will start going down like crazy. And then it's all because they were acting out, like a bunch of babies and fighting and lobbing missiles at each other. It's like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Okay, not as an American, just as a person. What are your thoughts on Israel and Palestine?
I'm not that well versed in Israel or Palestine, so it's tough to say. All I know is I've seen both sides literally killing kids, both sides doing all the awful things each side is accusing each other of. So when I see two sides of people doing everything that that they're accusing the other of, I just don't think that there's a good faith actor in the grand scheme of things here.
Sure. I respect that.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I take it you're probably on the Palestine side, is it?
Yeah, I would say I'm not pro Hamas by any means.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know anyone that is.
Most people aren't. Yeah,
well, I guess I've seen people that
do
are.
at least understand that Hamas as maybe I wouldn't go the full mile of saying it's a terroristic group, but it's definitely has done awful stuff. It's backed by Iran, which I don't like. We don't like Iran as well.
I understand that.
And also, I do understand that any like terror response, any terror retaliation is also part to blame by the oppressors. Like when you guys invaded Iraq,
right?
You kind of did bring a whole lot of killing and destruction to the country.
We never should have been in Iraq. There was no reason to go to Iraq.
There we go. I mean, Trump himself said it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even ISIS, as evil as they are, and we don't support them or anything, but I do understand that ISIS was a response to the American occupation of Iraq.
Well, I don't know if it was necessarily a response. So we pretty much created Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, whenever we backstabbed Al-Qaeda, I guess you could say, it was those leaders that then turned around and formed. Well, I think it was directly from Al-Qaeda, or was it from...
Did you stab them, or did they stab you?
So
as far as I know, you created Al-Qaeda, or, formerly the Mujahideen, to fight the Soviets. And then when they fought the Soviets, they held by their, Muslim teachings, I guess, and they turned to the USA. That's what I know.
It's a complicated and complex backstory. I don't think we'll ever get to the full story as to what happened, because it all starts with 9/11, and then it all goes into Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's so muddied. I know a couple people who served over there who were in Iraq, and they said that when they saw Saddam's, like, they were guarding the palace. It was littered with, like, jewels and gold, just all inside the walls and crested over Saddam's palace. It was a beautiful palace. And he said he was relieved that night when he wasn't supposed to be. It was a interesting squad that came up that was way above his rank. And they said, "You are relieved of this position until tomorrow morning." And he said, "Oh, yes, sir." When he came back, he said there wasn't a jewel in that palace. No idea what happened to all the jewelry, all the gold, anything. But we got a sneaky suspicion as to, who was behind that. Why these super high-ranking officers raided this palace and got rid of all that stuff and brought it back here to the United States, more than likely.
Was Clinton in office at the time?
Indeed.
What do you think about Clinton?
Oh wait, not Clinton in office. It was she was the Obama was in office, but she was the oh God, what was she? Not the defense secretary. I can't remember her position, but she was part of Obama's cabinet at the time. But the Clintons, I don't find them to be very good at all, even a little bit. I mean, Clinton's the one who sold us to China, sold all our factories there.
He had a hand in 9/11.
It's tough to say. I've seen so many good documentaries on 9/11 being an inside job. I've seen so many good documentaries of it not being an inside job. It's unbelievable the amount of evidence on both sides, so it's so hard to say.
I listened today to a theory about it being a Mossad operation.
It could have been. It's entirely possible. I mean, people have shown a lot.
Very compelling evidence.
There is a lot of compelling evidence. There's a lot of compelling evidence for bombs going off in the buildings. There's a lot of evidence to show that, because some people have shown how the buildings could have fallen from aircraft, and it's such a hard thing for me to wrap my head around, because both sides make really, really good arguments. Both sides make bad arguments too. We had every reason to fake it and go into the Middle East. I mean, it's what got us the kind of power that we have today. And it's one of the main reasons why we can cut off trade with China instantly, because if Europe tries to partner up with China per se, we can cut off China and Europe's entire gas operation, oil and gas operation completely. Because we control all of that. Russia could still sell gas to China, but nowhere near at the rate that we could cut them
sell
off
gas
with.
to you? Because you import a lot of gas from Saudi Arabia, and you also put tariffs on them, I'm pretty sure.
So I don't think we have tariffs on Saudi Arabia right now. I think...
not sure. Trump apparently released a list, and I'm pretty sure the US, Saudi Arabia was part of that list.
But we also have a wealth amount of oil in the United States.
You do, but do you have the time to extract it before your economy collapses if you cut off Saudi Arabia?
We have all our stuff set up. I mean, people could get in and drill. I mean, we've already started drilling, and the money that's going to be pouring down, or the money that's going to be coming off the gas prices anyway, in the next couple months is going to be huge. Because we've already dropped oil prices down from $75 a barrel to like $50. And I mean, it's pretty crazy the amount of drop. So this summertime, we're going to be seeing a massive gas price drop. But yeah, we can, I mean, we're already getting oil back. That's kind of the whole point on how we're balancing out this economy with
But here's the thing. Here's the problem with what Trump is doing, in my opinion, is he's taking such a drastic step to make America great again. But then again, he's going to be in office for only 4 years, and this is his last term. So if he gets replaced by a Democrat or even a Republican that doesn't share the same values, what happens then if the policies get re-invoked?
Well, we got another 4 years of dark times, just like what we did with Joe Biden. Gas prices shooting up like crazy.
Wouldn't that be a disaster to the USA if you cut off ties with Europe and China under Trump's administration, and then start building facilities in the USA only for that policy to be reversed?
No, because none of them are going to hold a grudge on that point. They're going to see an opportunity to sell their stuff to the market. China's going to see the opportunity to keep flooding schools and stuff with their Chinese propaganda. They're going to be more than happy to do that because China, they don't want to just stop with where they're at. They're wanting to take Taiwan. They're wanting to take the rest of the countries that they claim, and then they're going to try and take over the United States and everything else. They want world domination. I mean, Xi Jinping has been very clear about it. He has been very, very clear about what he thinks of Mao and his entire dynasty. It's no secret what they want.
But does it not make sense for him to take neighboring countries that were at some time a part of China?
No, because they were never a part of China.
Palestine. Trump said he was just straight up going to buy Palestine and Greenland.
Well, I mean, so buying them, well, that depends on the people. If he's willing to buy Palestine and Greenland and all that, I'm all for it. I mean, but if the people don't want to purchase or don't want it, if they're like, no, this means more to us than money, well, then that's fine too. But, I mean, offering to purchase that and give these people a better life in general. Oh yeah, I mean, think about like
he talked about purchasing Greenland. I think with Palestine, he just wanted to take it.
Well, with Palestine, he wanted to level it all out, rebuild it, and then give it back to the Palestinians.
Sure. Did he? I don't think he claimed that he was going to give it back to the Palestinians. He didn't even make that notion. He just said he's going to level it, as he said, and rebuild it. But I'm pretty sure he wants it to be
well, not Palestine, just Gaza.
Occupied by Israelis.
He wanted to take over and own the Gaza Strip.
It doesn't make sense for him to give Gaza back to Palestinians when he's urging them to be deported to Jordan and neighboring countries.
Well, so he suggested only a long-term control of Gaza, level it out, rebuild it. What he specifically said is those buildings that are there are not livable. They are destroyed. They are bombed. We need to just go ahead, level it, and end the violence there. So he wanted to level it out, rebuild it, have long-term control over it. But that means at some point the control would be gone. Otherwise, he would say indefinite control.
Sure. I don't have a problem with the U.S. rebuilding Palestine or Gaza so long as it's given back to the Palestinians. But I'm saying that's not probably his intention. He wants to reestablish, I guess, the old sacred land that is Israel. I mean, his stance on Israel is very clear that he's extremely pro-Israel.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he is pro-Israel, but I mean, to what degree, I don't think he's willing to help take over other countries. I mean, he's been very, very anti-war, even in his first term. He said the Abraham Accords got those countries to be peaceful. It was remarkable. He ended, technically speaking, the North and South Korean war. Of course, now that's back up and running more than ever, thanks to Biden for completely getting rid of North Korea entirely. All talks, negotiations with North Korea, they stopped with that. You know, I mean, it's just, it's phenomenal the amount of work that Trump has done to promote peace instead of going and bombing people. I mean, shoot, he had that one war hawk that was trying to get Trump to bomb Iran. And last minute, Trump figured that out, got rid of him. And now that's not even any longer on the table. There is no bombs going to Iran. Nothing like that going on now. So, I mean, you know, Trump has always been trying to do things through peace. And now the Houthis, well, that's different. They're attacking our ships.
Yeah.
They're attacking our ships. If they stop doing that, we won't bomb them.
No, you attacked them first, though.
No, I mean, they've been attacking our ships for a long, long time. You know, driving out there with their boats. And
if you're a person with a claim to peace, wouldn't you just withdraw your ships?
Well, they're cargo ships. They're cargo ships.
Well, no, they're not attacking cargo ships. They're attacking military ships.
They are hijacking cargo ships.
Supersonic, what is it called? Supersonic missile at Israel, and plan to do the same apparently on aircrafts or aircraft carrying ships.
Well, I mean,
that are flying in the ocean.
The Houthi pirates are absolutely jumping onto our trade ships and everything. I mean, they just abducted a French ship like a couple months ago, and then the French sent their own military in and bombed them. So, I mean, it's just an issue with the Houthis. And, you know, once they stop attacking the ships over in the, well, what sea is it? It's not the Red Sea, is it? Which sea which one is it? It is the Red Sea, yeah. So the Houthis have since seized and launched aerial attacks against dozens of merchant and naval vessels in the Red Sea. So they're attacking Navy vessels, they're attacking merchant vessels,
was that
anything.
not provoked?
I don't see how
Are
that's
they
provoked.
pirates, or was this a political retaliation?
Oh, this is just piracy. These are just Houthi pirates
I mean,
coming
they
in.
were going at it with the USA for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
You're not
yeah.
doing something to critique this pirating.
I mean, we got bigger missiles than them. I don't think it's worth them trying to even retaliate at this point. Like, they shouldn't be attacking our ships. If they stop doing that, I guarantee you we're not going to be bombing them.
Is that what it's all about? Just them attacking ships?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, they also have an insane civil war going on and a genocide, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can figure that out. That's their deal. But aside from all of that, you know, I just don't see any point in, I don't know, letting them attack our ships without any kind of repercussions, because they've taken a lot of ships. When was the most recent hijacking? When was this last one? January 22nd, 2025, and that's why we started bombing them. So they got a 25-member crew, and they held them hostage for 14 months. Oh, they released them on January 22nd, 2025. Okay. After we had bombed the crap out of them. So, I mean, you know, that's a good reason to bomb them. I would say, you know, they're holding our hostages. Biden didn't even do anything to get them out. Trump just was like, hey, give us our hostages back. They said no, and we gave them missiles. And then they gave our hostages back.
Speaking of hostages, what do you think about the trade Biden made between the basketball player and the warlord of Russia?
I think that was a terrible decision. That was such a bad decision. Oh, yeah. Why would we give for someone who literally broke Russian law by bringing a weed pen on a plane? Can't do that. We traded the Merchant of Death for Brittany Griner.
I mean, sure, but can you not see it in another sense that, I mean, it paints a very nice picture of the USA that they're willing to do anything to get their citizens back and protect them.
But here's the problem. If she was in an area where that weed pen was illegal in the United States, she would have gotten the same year sentence anyway. So, I mean...
Was it not just a regular vape?
Yeah, no. It was a weed pen. It was 100% weed pen. That was verified. So, I mean, it's... You know...
So you're not for the trade?
No, I would not want to give somebody who's killed many, many people back to Russia for someone who brought an illegal drug into another country. She smuggled drugs. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? You smuggle drugs in the United States and you're getting in a lot of trouble. So
I mean, smuggled is a big word. It was one pen, you know, it was one vape.
it's still technically smuggled. It didn't have to be a large quantity. But
I mean, yeah, technically, but
the United States would punish you very, very heavily if you smuggled one in, into the United States as well. Just can't do that. Like, you'd be looking at a 20-year sentence if you came from another country with weed. So, I mean,
sure.
If we're doing it, I mean, we should get rid of that standard. Now, I don't think we should. I think it should be legal, in my opinion. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying if we do it to people, why are we crapping on Russia for doing it? You know what I mean? It's like, that's not fair.
I get it.
Now, I think
That's
Russia
fair.
and the United States are wrong for it. 100%. There's no reason that weed can't be legal. But it is one of those things that, I just think it's a mistake.
Why do you think weed is legal?
What do you mean?
Or is not legal?
Because it put it scared the paper companies that we had, like National Gypsum Company, and, oh God, what are the other ones? There was just a lot of paper companies that make their paper through recycling and through trees. Hemp is way faster and produces way more paper because you can mow it all down. 6 months later, it's right back up to its
But
palatability.
why wouldn't it be legalized and the companies, be able to plant their weed and make paper out of it?
I think it had something to do with land. I'm not 100% sure, but
Is it
trees
not
take.
because they can't tax it?
Well, no,
I mean,
it
you can
wasn't
tax
just because
alcohol.
taxing. Because right now they're taxing medical. I mean, they could make it medical in all 50 states, and they still won't quite do that. What it is it's just a byproduct of hemp itself can make clothes. So all the cotton farmers would be out of business. They'd have to be growing hemp. All these different factories that were lobbied to create, things at a certain price point. Because think about it. If you're able to make really high quality clothes and bring the price of all those goods down to make those clothes to a much cheaper price, then you're not able to sell them for as much of a price because people are going to know. And that's really hard to do in America. We don't let our own companies price gouge us. They get around the price gouging by going to China and then bring the same thing that they would make back here and sell it for that same price. So we can't quite do that. But making it here in America, we have standards, we have regulations that they have to abide by. So they find ways around it. And now, as for today, I don't think it's even that big of a deal today. They could probably legalize it all. And now all their machinery and stuff would handle it just fine.
They're not legal in some states.
Yeah, there's some states that are really weird about it. I don't know why, because there's very few states it's not legal now. I think like 36 states have medical, I think it is now. Is it 36? Many states have... Let's see. I hope it's 36. 39 states. Wow, as of March 2023.
There's an update.
Wow, I didn't know it was that many even. I thought it was
They
36.
have legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
Medically.
Medically, anyway. Yeah, I think let's see, recreational. I bet it's only like 7 states with recreational, though.
Wait, so in the other states you can't be medically prescribed weed?
Whoa. 24 states have recreational use now. Wow.
I don't know what recreational use is.
Oh, that means you don't have to have a license or anything. You can just go into any store like a liquor store and just buy it. So it's 100% legal. So, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know. 24 states, it's completely 100% legal. You could just walk in and buy weed. You don't have to have any type of card or anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're following in the footsteps of Europe. I heard in Sweden, I think, or maybe it was Finland, you can buy weed, you just can't sell it.
That makes sense. I mean, that's how it is for alcohol in the United States. You can buy alcohol, you just can't make it and sell it without a license. So, yeah, no, that makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, shoot, being able to just go in and buy it without any regulations at all is kind of crazy. I don't know if I'm for that, though, at this point, because of how much fentanyl is ending up in it.
But you can do the same with alcohol, though. Like, what's the difference between weed and alcohol?
Oh, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the same thing for alcohol. You can't make it and sell it yourself. You know what I mean? Or you'll get in trouble and arrested.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm talking about buying, not selling.
Oh, just buying? Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's... Well, I mean, alcohol, I think, is much worse for you. to be honest. I think in every aspect, it's much worse for your body and makes you feel bad when you're done. Yeah, I think it's a pretty bad deal. But, yeah, I mean, that's the only difference I see, though. I mean, I know a lot of people that like alcohol, but, yeah, in general, I think, yeah, alcohol's pretty bad.
You're getting closer. Yeah, you're close. You hate alcohol. You're not pro-Israel. You hate the Uyghur situation in China.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to say Shahada now. You're Muslim. Full blown.
Well,
are you a Christian?
I am actually recently now.
Really? What made you make the switch? Were you atheist before?
Yes, I was atheist. Mainly, I think it's been good for the kids, the family. Going to church has been very nice, actually. And, you know, as I get older, religion's not such a bad thing. The younger you are, I understand why. But when you get closer and closer to death, it's unsettling.
Do you think it's smarter to research other religions than just to abide by the default in your country?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do fully believe in researching it completely. But every religion should be studied.
May I make a suggestion? Islam.
Okay, well, understand
no
that.
biased reason at all.
I do have a Quran in my cabinet there.
Do you read it?
Every now and then I try to kind of pull it out and read it and stuff. It's a lot more crude. It's harder to understand because it's not translated very well. But
is it not in English?
It is. It has the English next to the Arabic text, or Arabic, whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it is Arabic, yeah.
Oh, Arabic. Okay, yeah. It's got it next to it, but it's like directly translated, not, you know.
Yeah, I get it. There's no metaphors. It's a literal translation. Yeah, no, you can get a fully translated Quran.
Oh, okay.
Which is I sometimes even read the Quran in English because I find it easier to understand. Because in Arabic, it's a very ancient language. Arabic today is very different from what it was 1400 years ago.
Absolutely. But hey, I actually I think my time is kind of up for the night. I got to go help out with the kids and stuff.
I was gonna say I'm not trying to have a religious debate after a
no, you're good.
One.
Absolutely.
Yeah, too much. Yeah. Do you usually have conversations this long?
No, actually, this is the first time for this long. But
no, you're first.
Absolutely. No, it's very cool talking to you, though, man. You're a very nice guy.
Yeah, likewise. All right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Take care.
You have a good night.
You too.
Wow.
Hello.
Uh-oh, where's the... How's it going? It's only skipping. I can't stop. Hello.
Are you okay? Okay.
How's it going?
Yeah, oh, there's a lot of debt. You might want to come take a look.
I understand that.
Oh.
Y'all have a good night. Can I exit? Oh my gosh, how do I get out of this? I think I just have to hit the back button. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh man, okay. Well, I think we got it all settled. I think this was a pretty good stream, guys. Sorry I wasn't as... that was a long conversation. I didn't expect to get in that long of a debate. That gag was really interesting, though. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I gotta hop off here, guys. Sorry about being a few minutes late. I couldn't get the stream running exactly. This is hard to figure out with this restream stuff, but I'm trying to do better. Anyway, thank you all, and hi, Nex. Hey, Marco. Hey, Prague. And guys, sorry I have to hop off so quick, but I got things to take care of. But